Yo, chat, let's do this together, guys. Educational stream. Educational stream, right? Let's do this together, right? Sit down. Class is in session. Educational stream. Financial knowledge quiz by Finra. Suppose you have $100 in a savings account earning 2% interest a year. After 5 years, how much would you have? So this answer is fairly obvious, right? So I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna give you guys a wow, and then y'all can tell me the answer in a little bit, right? Alright, do we have the answer? Do we have the answer? In 10, 9, 8, 1. If you chose anything besides the first option, I'm very, very concerned for you, right? Anyways, the final answer should be 110.4. But in any case, if you chose any other than this, I'll be very concerned. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Right? Imagine the interest on your savings. Yo, lies, blue. Thank you so much for it. Oh, you already lost? Okay, go fuck yourself then. The interest rate on your savings account is 1% a year. Inflation is 2% per year. After 1 year, would the money in the account buy more than it does today? Exactly the same or less than today? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer the question. In 5, 3, 1. Oh, if you are not gonna be clicking on yes, I will be very, 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 very concerned for you. You get what I'm saying? We're just gonna move on into the next question. If interest rate rise, what would typically happen to bond prices? Rise, fall, stay the same, or there is no relation? I'll give you guys 10, a 5, a 3, a 2, a 1. And the answer is, oh, unfortunately, what the fuck is bond? Okay, technically there are 2 types of bonds. Okay, wait, before I answer this, right? But there are technically 2 types of bonds. Mainly, there are government bonds. And then secondly, there are your corporate bonds. Government bonds, you are known as treasury bills, right? T-bills. So in Singapore corner, it's like SSB. So it is basically backed by the Singapore government. It is a lot more safe compared to corporate bonds, which is backed by a single entity or a corporation, hence the name corporate bonds, right? So your T-bills, SSB, US Treasury Fund, all that, those are all bonds because it is basically you loaning a corporation or the actual government your money and they pay you back with interest. So that's how bond works. So unlike investment, bonds are usually at a fixed price. So for example, if you buy a T-bill for 1 year, X like I don't know how many percent, it is like guaranteed plus chop unless the company defaults, which is like super rare, which is why it's like there are those ratings by those agencies. So there's like AAA, so all those ones are super safe, to like AA, A, B, C, blah blah blah. So like it gets riskier and riskier, which means the interest rate is gonna go higher and higher for each element of the bond you buy. So generally speaking, these are like considered safer investment instruments compared to like stocks or index funds even. So those are pretty much good. I don't get, use HSR analogy. Okay, picture this. Okay, picture this, right? If investing in the IPC, right? Imagine IPC, right? Let's just say the IPC wants money for their brand new like scientific venture. They want to conquer like the world. They want to buy out and forth, right? They will need money, right? Even IPC will want money. So what IPC will do is that they will lend out to the citizens of Better Bogu, right? So they will issue out the IPC bond, right? So they will give it to Better Bogu. So let's just say, for example, you pay me 1,000 credits. And after 1 year, the IPC will pay you back 1,010 credits. So that is basically a 1% interest rate on this bond price, and it is fixed. So unless IPC falls down, right? Unless Iron Tomb actualizes and destroys IPC, this 1,010 credit is guaranteed to you by name after 1 year because it is backed by the IPC, right? Unlike your stock market, if you were to invest in a stock market, you don't really know if the price will go up, down, whatever it's going to be, because it's basically up to the actual economic environment, right? Whereas this is actually the IPC says so, I will 100% pay you back 1,010 after 1 year, unless the entire company collapses, right? Hopefully, so in any case, it is not, okay, you know what, MU, I think you need to stop playing Firefly. I think stop playing Super Break, right? You need to go out there and touch a little bit more economic knowledge because I think this is way, way, way more fucking important than learning how Super Break works. You know what I'm saying? Okay, in any case, is this C or Z, right? Okay, IPC bond sucks. What did IPC even do? Okay, but in any case, what happens when this is honestly not that easy of a question compared to R2. When interest rate rise, This means the cost of money is more expensive, right? The cost of money is more expensive. Like, it costs you more to borrow money, which means that people technically will have a less incentives to actually go ahead and buy out those money. So the reverse would usually happen, because when you buy a bond, it is used as a hedge, most likely against the market in an economic downturn, right? So when these things rise, this means that for your day-to-day activity, let's say you want to buy a house, right? If you want to buy a house, and if the interest rates rise, what happens? Yes, the answer is it will cost you more to buy that house in a high interest rate environment. So on the flip side, if the interest rate is low, more people will want to buy a house because it costs you less to borrow money. That's how mortgage works. So if the interest rate rise, typically what tends to happen is that I believe the bond 6-7. Okay, enough is enough, right? Okay, let's just move, because I don't want to make this question too long. So, but true or false? A 15-year mortgage typically requires higher monthly payments than a 30-year mortgage, but the total interest of the life of the loan will be less. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2. Okay, suppose this, right? Okay, I'll put in H as our terms for you. All right, put in H. If I tell you that Super Break lasts 15 years, and if I tell you Acheron lasts 30 years, now between both, generally speaking, the one that lasts shorter typically will have a higher rate of return because they have a shorter lifespan, right? So if you are able to pay off your mortgage at a faster time, you would technically be spending less money on that mortgage because you're spending less time with whatever this is, right? If you're only going to be spending 15 years playing Super Rig compared to 30 years playing Acheron, then your actual expenditure for your Super Rig, it would be lower if you were to play a 30-year-old team, right? So the answer is blah, 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 it will be less, blah, 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 blah. Very, very good. Very, very nice, right? Okay, the next question. Buying a single company stock usually provides a safer return than a stock mutual fund. Okay, this is an excellent example, guys. No, bro, this is excellent. Investing in 1 DPS versus investing in 10 DPS. Which one do you think? Okay, actually, this is not that good of an example because if you invest in 10 DPS without the supports, you're kind of fucked. So, okay, I think a better example is assuming all things constant, right? Assuming all things constant, you have no supports. So you just pick 1 unit, period. Just a single unit. So no Rame, no Super, no. You only play a single unit as a DPS, or you play 10 different DPS. Which one do you think has a less likelihood of getting power creep? Now, I think the answer is hella obvious, right? So, bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. Very, very good, right? Okay, second last question. Suppose you owe $1,000 loan and interest rate charge of 20%. 20% interest? Bro, that is fucking crazy, bro. Bro, that is absolutely fucking crazy. If you didn't pay anything off at this interest rate, how many years would it take for you to owe double? I am almost certain it is between 2 to 4, if I'm not mistaken. Hold up. Yep, it's between 2 to 4. Okay, essentially just take 1,000 times 1.2 times 1.2 times 1.2 and then see whichever one is gonna be double. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing. Okay, very, very good, very, very nice. Okay, last question, guys. Last question. The highest probability of getting a particular disease. Oh my god, this is Gacha Economics 101, guys. What are the odds of you winning in a... Okay, which of the following Gacha games has better SSR odds? Alright, 1 in 20 of getting the SSR, 2% SSR, 25 out of 1,000 SSR, you are fucking dented. So let's take a look. So 1 in 20 is literally just the odds of this is 0.05, which is 5% SSR rate. Okay, wow, that is really, really good, right? So this is 5%. This is already out of the equation. So it's 25 out of 1,000 more than 5% SSR? And the answer is no, because this is gonna be 0.025, which is 2.5%, and therefore this is the highest probability of getting an SSR. Now we're gonna submit this. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bop. Whoa! And there it is. Welcome back to Mr. Finance, right? If this has been a helpful lesson for you, subscribe to the Daily Pokke, and I will also be Mr. Finance, Mr. Knowledge, Mr. Teacher, right? Hopefully, I will see you guys next in our daily. Bro, Pokke's classroom is back, bro. Pokke's classroom is back, so I'll look forward to see you guys in our next lesson. I'll teach you guys about which stocks to go all in. This is not financial advice. You have coomed your last coom, my man.